Good config. Alright, great job, Woody. That means we're in a good config continuum. So we will be rotating the booster funnel to and we're about halfway through that second set of hooks. Second set of hooks continuing to retract.
Dragon SpaceX on the big loop, all hooks open. Dragon separation confirmed.
And we do have confirmation of Freedom, Crew Dragon Freedom undocking at 10:05 a.m. Central over the Tasman Sea. And you're seeing a video of that separation on your screen right now. So Dragon has started to push itself away from the International Space Station, and with that, Peggy Whitson, John Schaffner, Ali Alcarni, and Rihanna Barnaby have completed their journey aboard the International Space Station. Again, confirmed separation at 10:05 a.m. Central Time.
Dragon SpaceX on the big loop, depart burn 0 nominal.
Ready copies, and thank you for the hospitality. ISS.
And we are hearing good confirmation of those undocking burns. You also heard some more.
And Axiom 2, it was a pleasure having you on board. We really appreciate all the hard work. Congratulations on an outstanding mission. Thank you for all your great generosity. It was greatly appreciated, and I wish you calm seas and calm winds for your splashdown this evening. Take care. Fly safe. Station, we appreciate the boss.
And Houston copies.
And some kind words there between Axiom 2 Commander Peggy Whitson and Steve Bowen, who's on board the International Space Station monitoring today's undocking. Now, lit up against the International Space Station there, you just saw the flashes from the thrusters as those departure burns continue to take place. These short burns help increase the speed at which Dragon is flying away from the space station and start to send it on a trajectory up and over the International Space Station. And there you can see those thruster firings lighting up the Soyuz vehicle docked to the International Space Station. The next burn that we're tracking is the departure burn, which will help increase the initial opening rate between the Crew Dragon and the space station. This burn will last about 21 seconds. And this departure burn 1 is slated to begin just about 2 minutes from now. Following this burn, the crew will start to take off their spacesuits until it's time to deorbit. They do wear their launch and re-entry spacesuits during the dynamic phases of flight. However, during this 12-hour journey to splashdown, they'll have the opportunity to take their spacesuits off and get comfortable, and then they'll put their spacesuits back on ahead of splashdown later this evening. Now 1 minute until the departure burn 1 begins. Again, this 21-second burn is going to help continue to propel Freedom away from the International Space Station. And shortly after the departure burn occurs, Freedom will exit the Keep Out sphere. The Keep Out sphere is an imaginary sphere which is 200 meters in radius around the International Space Station, and it's one of several safety zones that's set up to govern visiting spacecraft either arriving or departing the space station. Before moving into the Keep Out sphere, spacecraft have to be configured where they would not cross the imaginary boundary for at least 4 orbits, even if the spacecraft were to lose all of its maneuvering. Depart burn 1 underway. And you are seeing some of those thruster firings on board Dragon. Again, this burn is using the Draco thrusters,
Dragon
and that burn
SpaceX
did just complete and all went
departure burn
smoothly.
1 nominal, and all Dragon systems look healthy. Good undock. At this time, you are go to DOF suits in 4.012, and finally a reminder that the big loop will be deactivated following Dragon's exit from the approach ellipsoid.
Dragon copies, Delta suit Delta.
And with that call out of a successful departure burn 1, the crew now has the go to get out of their spacesuits and get comfortable for the 12-hour journey until splashdown.
Let me get you specifics for next step. That's no joy.
Continuing to get some views. Continuing to get some views of Freedom as it backs away from the International Space Station. And we just got word that Dragon has exited the Keep Out sphere. Again, that's imaginary sphere. It's that imaginary sphere 200 meters in radius around the International Space Station. And on your screen here, as you continue to see Freedom back away, you're actually able to see those windows on the vehicle and can kind of make out the crew inside as they continue to get smaller and smaller, making their way back home.
Dragon copies.
The next major milestone that we are tracking this morning is when Dragon exits the approach ellipsoid, or AE. This is another imaginary shape. It's a three-dimensional ellipsoid measuring 4 kilometers by 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers. It's in the same family as the Keep-Out sphere. One of the key differences with the approach ellipsoid is that vehicles outside it have to be on what we call a 24-hour safe free drift trajectory. And we're getting some really great views of Dragon here as it continues to undock from the International Space Station. You can see the nose cone is open and the trunk is attached. Before splashdown, the nose cone will close and that trunk will be deorbited.
So flight with that will have forward actions once we're back out at the mod kit with the Cyrosa. He can continue on to R4. This will require the contingency pit pin. Alright, Woody, we're going to come back to this bolt for the turkey timer later. For now,
And with everything continuing to go smoothly here in Mission Control Houston, we are waiting for Dragon to exit that approach ellipsoid following the on-time undocking this morning at 10:05 a.m. Central Time. Dragon has completed a series of burns to back it away from the International Space Station, and again, everything going A-OK this morning here in Mission Control Houston. So I'm going to toss it over to Hawthorne to give us an update, and so they can share a little bit about what it was like to see undocking from their perspective.
Awesome. Thank you, Sandra. If you're just now joining us, you